I came from a family of musicians. My dad is the trombone professor at NAU, and my mom plays violin and managed symphony orchestras around the country. So when I was younger, I started playing cello. Now I'm focusing a lot on writing music, specifically for actually Broadway musicals.
I play violin, I play in the school's orchestra, and I also play in different ensembles around campus. I honestly wasn't sure what to expect at all with the songwriting experience. When we first walked into the Hall of Fame, I was a little bit tentative. But when I first met Gary, he was down to earth, and he talked to me like an equal, like a friend.
Teaching myself guitar was really what inspired me to start making my own music. I started writing songs and poems and stuff along those lines when I was about 13, but it didn't really get good until I was about 16. I don't know about Adele and Ben, but I was a little bit nervous about meeting these professional songwriters, but everyone was so kind and so friendly. And we talked and we ate lunch, and then we went to our separate green rooms. And right off the bat, Georgia and I just started writing. I think brave is an important part of this.
I do too. Yeah. And I want to make a note of when you said, just, is that what you said?
Or not even strong like brave. Just because I'm sensitive doesn't mean I'm not brave. Because I think there's a bravery in being sensitive and being empathetic and being open.
Agreed. What'd you say? Just because I'm
sensitive doesn't mean I'm not brave.
I like that, like where this is taking us. Doesn't mean that I'm not brave. Maybe it's that.
Yeah. The thing that sort of like baffles me is how amazing the song that we did come up with was. And I think that's completely due to Georgia. I mean, because I've written songs in like 10 minutes, but they're no good, you know? It's just a song. This is like a collaboration between two people who really, truly felt what they were writing.
Today with Mikey, it was so easy because she started sharing some things she had started, like some ideas she had, and it immediately made me pick up my guitar. That's when it's the most fun as a co-writer, is when you have a partner in the room and you're going off each other's ideas, and it just becomes something that neither one of you could have written alone because both of you are doing it.
Yeah.
Just because. How would you do that?
So it would be.
Wrapped in a song, nothing is wrong.
I can show my scars, and I'm sensitive. Doesn't mean I'm not brave.
We'll work with that. And just because I'm sensitive.
Yeah.
I gotta find some music, like on the guitar, I gotta mess with that. The song's called Brave, and she's brave because we're talking about really honest things, and that's what makes a good song. So when you're not afraid to go to the dark places and just be honest, it was so much fun. And the music kind of just drove itself.
So I knew what was expected of us. I had no idea what to expect, though, because I am not used to actually sitting down and writing a song with somebody. And going into that room, I didn't really have any ideas of what I wanted to write about, how the process was going to work. And I don't think Tony did either, but he just talked to me. He said, okay, tell me who you are. Tell me what are your goals? Who do you listen to? And then he stopped and he said, you know, I have this idea.
But you were playing too. Making you.
No. Oh, okay. So that's where the wonder part comes in, because the other kids are out in the street with, you know, no real sense of direction. They're just being kids. But this kid he's in his room, he's dedicating himself to music, but he's still being the same kind of kid. He's just soaking it all in because he loves it so much, and that's the wonder part. He said, every time you think the world is going to hell in a handbasket, the youngest generation will convince you otherwise. That's kind of what the song that we came up with is about.
Working with Adele today was fabulous. She's a wonderfully talented violin player, and that would have been enough. But she's a real songwriter. Okay, well, let's throw ideas in the hat. I mean, what are you in the mood to write? Are you in the mood to write something, what do you think we should do? Should we do something beautiful and sensitive? Should we do something perky and up-tempo?
He literally was like, name a key. And I was like, okay, G minor. And he just started playing chords, and he was like, okay, go. So I just improv totally off of his chords and his energy, and we just kind of started bouncing ideas off of each other.
It was one of those days when everything we wrote was just from us talking about what it could be.
I wished I had had this when I was younger. I wish that I had been in the room and could learn, you know, just by doing. It's not just that I'm helping to teach them, they're helping to teach me because they have a language unto themselves and they have experiences that are just really great and exciting.
All we're trying to do is connect them with the experience, the person, the resource, so they can thrive. So this weekend, you are our resource. The fact that we could choose you to be with us. The honor of being chosen to be here at ASU, so I can watch this thriving happen, not just tonight, but for your journey with us. As students, as alumni, as people who can change the world with your poetry, your words, your music. It's just unbelievably emotional to watch and to experience.
I learned that it is very helpful to write with someone who you can bounce ideas off of. When we would like think of an idea, we'd start snapping and be like, oh, okay, if we say this, then we could say this. It was just incredible.
When I sing and play my music, I am free. Being sensitive don't mean that I'm not brave, 'cause I let things in, and grateful I can feel. Brave like a warrior, my music is my shield. The only thick part of me is my fingertips when I play guitar. Wrapped in a song, nothing is wrong, I will show my scars.
When we were having lunch with the three songwriters, I asked them all, what was your big break? Gary said that there was no one big thing that defined the start of his career. He said, you are a professional once you start thinking of yourself as one. And even if you're waiting tables, you are as much a professional as somebody who gets paid millions of dollars to do one song.
It was an absolute honor to work with Ben Vining over there yesterday. I'd never met him. And I'm gonna tell you something, if you turn on the news, you'd think the world was going to hell in a handbasket. And then you get around young folks like this and you realize, no, we're gonna be all right. And all the enthusiasm he brought to this, I just mentioned a simple idea. Next thing I knew, Ben said, I got this, we're done. And I'm gonna tell you something, what an amazing talent, and his enthusiasm and his talent is just awe-inspiring. Thanks for working with me. Don't know much about anything. When I look at you, I see what I've always seen. I could never understand it, but I'm sure glad that it found you.
I learned that songs can happen in multiple ways. I'm used to sitting down with sheet music and sitting there with my pen and writing out music at a piano. That process of working without writing anything down, without writing any notes down and just remembering it, which was a really interesting process. I had never finished a song that successfully in that short amount of time. We finished it in about 2 hours. So I think that his process was really effective, and I think that I'll try doing that more instead of kind of just sitting down and forcing myself to write something.
Yeah, I'll go where they'll never go. This pack on my back is my home. I'm the wind in the trees, they're the roots in the ground. Still, it's a good day when the peddler comes to town.
Perfect. That's the perfect ending.
Yeah.